Welcome to another episode of Check Me Out on our YouTube channel. And one of my favorites today is speaking with Rhona MacKenzie from Red Shoots.
Hello, Laura.
Hello, Rhona has been a client of Creative Jam since just before lockdown, actually, that point in her life where pretty much everything changed, but there are good things to come out of the lockdown. And one of those products is Daily Good Immunity Shots. And that is one of the many brands that you have at Red Shoots. The other brands being Good Cocktail Co., Just Fresh, Lemon Fresh, and Happy Hour Collective, which are all wonderful brands. But the one I really wanted to highlight today was Daily Good. And the reason that I wanted to have a chat to you about Daily Good was it's got such a good story and so many good things about it. And basically to try and demystify the process of how you actually choose what to talk about and what to put on pack, and that it's okay to actually refine these things as you go along. So, first question is for you, Rhona, is what can you tell us a little bit about Daily Good and the idea and how you kind of came up with that?
Sure. So Daily Good came about actually quite a few years ago with myself and my co-founder James. His family own a farm in Fiji where they grow 150 acres and they grow ginger and turmeric, and it's USDA certified organic. And the family have owned the farm for over 60 years, and they've put a lot of love, passion, and money into that farm and into making it organic. One of the wonderful things about it is that it's 80% run by women. So it's predominantly women, rural Fijian women workers, and it's a woman who is the CEO. It's an amazing place. It's really amazing place. We knew they grew incredible produce there with the ginger and turmeric. And so Daily Good came about because myself and James knew that we wanted to add value as much as we could with the ginger and turmeric, and the more value that we added in terms of FMCG products, that the more impact that we could actually have in Fiji, which was incredibly important to both of us. It's something that we're both very passionate about actually being able to give back. Not sure, does that answer the question? So that's how Daily Good came about. That's its backstory, which is incredibly important. I think it's really the reason why we exist as Red Shoots is because of the farm and because of trying to affect impact in Fiji and the Pacific for rural women.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when it came to deciding on the formulas or the, because Daily Good has three flavors, obviously the black currant, the ginger, and the turmeric. So what was it that about those particular three formulas that kind of made you go, oh yeah, this is where we need to sit?
For us, well, obviously we looked at our competition because that's the first thing you must always do. We looked at the competition that was out there, and we felt they were harsh. It was quite a harsh, and we always used me as the lowest common denominator when it came to tasting the formulations. And if it was too harsh and too hard impact hitting, so from a taste profile, then you weren't likely to do it again. And what we wanted it to be, we wanted it to be Daily Good to be something that you did daily and you were happy to do daily, and that it wasn't a shock to your system when you did it. So there's a lot of the other shots out there that you knock them back and you go, oh, they really impact you, and it's quite physical impact. And we didn't want to do that because that's not who we are as people. It's not who we are as a company. We wanted to be nurturing and to provide comfort, and so but to be impactful as well, both from a taste profile but also from a brand profile. Those things we needed to resonate those things, so we chose the flavors. The ginger, because they grow the ginger and it's phenomenal ginger. And the ginger obviously gives, we think of it from a comforting point of view. You think of it all sorts of levels, honey, lemon, ginger. How many times has your mum or your nan done that for you? That seemed really important to us. And from a gut health point of view as well, obviously. And turmeric, obviously, everybody knows about turmeric and its amazing anti-inflammatory properties. And blackcurrant just seemed like a natural kind of, from an immunity and vitamin C point of view. We put in some more zinc in there so that we can legally make our claim for immunity. That was really important to us. As you know, Laura, I spent a long time on that. So Yeah, time.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I've been around since the birth of the first iterations of Daily Good. And as you say, there were things that had to go into the formulations that were legally to be able to call it immunity tonic. And the first iteration, which I have right here, is the immunity tonic, which is where we started out. And there came a few little challenges with that, in that people were drinking it, rather than a shot or a 7 day, they thought it was just drink the whole blooming thing at once, which was one of the first hurdles. So how did you go about overcoming that when you first put the product out into market?
Yeah, so we listened to our consumers is what we did. And I guess when you launch a brand for the first time, you don't get it right first time. There's just absolutely no way that the packaging that you launch with and the text that you have on your packaging is right. It's just not, because you actually don't know until you really put it out there in the market and your consumers come back and talk to you. So we just responded to those changes basically. As soon as we realized that consumers didn't understand what a tonic was, well, then we had to change the package. Not dramatically change the packaging, but we had to change how we communicated with consumers. And that was critical. And that's what we did. Absolutely. We just listened and we responded. And as you know, many, many tweaks, many, many tweaks. I think we're at the end of our tweaks, so I think we're there.
Yeah, I think it's good. And this is the result that we have at the moment with all these lovely medals on it, I should say, as well, which is always nice to have. Um, But with refining a product, and you said, when you first put a product out into market, you spent so much time on it and it's gone out there and you're like, okay, yay, now I can sit back and watch the money roll in. And it's not like that at all, is it?
No, it is absolutely not like that at all. That's just the start of it. Once you've got the actual packaging, you've done the actual formulation. You're just at the start. You don't think you are, because it's taken you a long, long time to get there. But you are. You're literally just at the start of the journey of the brand. And it's all about getting distribution. It's all about getting it in consumers' hands. And for that, I'm afraid you need extremely deep pockets to be able to do that effectively. So, yeah, it's a long road.
It is a long road. And one of the challenges, in a positive challenge, actually, I think that has been around with Daily Good is just the multitude of wonderful things that we can say about the product from the ingredients and the fact that it's an immunity, and obviously the amazing, backing behind it with Renandi, the farm in Fiji. Has that been a bit of a challenge to work out exactly, what you'd say when it comes to marketing?
For sure, for sure. And I think, as you know, we've just been through a bit of a marketing, we've had some new people join the company and the brand hasn't been achieving the rate of sale that we wanted it to. So we've big critical deep dive on it, is it the packaging? So there was a big session on the packaging, we need to change it, we need to do this. I never felt we did. I always felt that we were okay with it, but I was going with what everybody was saying. And then we've been very fortunate through NZTE to be connected to a really fantastic marketing guy. And we've had quite a few sessions with him. And my understanding from that came out that, and I've done this a lot, but you forget things. When you're in it, you forget it. And we've been focusing, I guess, on the functional side of the brand. So on the immunity, on the amazing ingredients, on the amazing supply chain that we have to bring the ingredients into New Zealand. And they're all really, really good stories. But what I guess we haven't done enough is we haven't sort of emotionally connected the brand with consumers. We haven't done enough work on that. Seems a bit fuzzy, but it's actually critical. And in terms of being able to connect with consumers, what I've understood now, which is, I knew it, but I didn't know how to do it, or I'd forgotten it, I guess, was that we literally have bucket loads of emotional connections with consumers as a brand. And we haven't really been singing those enough. We've been singing the functional ones. And actually, that isn't really what we should have focused on, because we needed to bring our consumers on. We needed to get our tribe together. And we haven't really done that well enough, to be honest with you. I say that we've achieved amazing things. We're in Chemist Warehouse in New Zealand. Phenomenal. Their support has been incredible. And I know, a lot of suppliers would say, ooh, Chemist Warehouse, how dreadful. Incredible support. I can honestly tell you, as a small brand, they have held our hand all the way along. Countdown New Zealand. We've literally just got into Countdown New Zealand. We've been 2 years talking to Countdown on that. I'm so proud that we finally got in. Woolworths in Australia. We're in Woolworths Australia. So although I say it's hard, and it is a long, hard road, and it doesn't seem it because it's only sort of been 2 and a bit years to get there. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and we don't necessarily have it right. Yeah, we don't necessarily have it right, and it's the marketing side of it. For me, it's that making that emotional connection and explaining ourselves better. And I think it's when someone else talked to me about it, I said, it's just what we do. We are just decent people. We are just a decent company. We do just do the decent right thing. But you've got to communicate that to consumers as a brand.
Absolutely. The story behind everything is so important because it comes back to that really basic need of human culture, and that we buy with our emotions, even if it doesn't physically feel like it at the time. When you're going through a supermarket and you're going, oh, what am I going to make for dinner? You're stressed, and that's an emotion. So you might go, I'm going to just grab some pizza bases and I'm going to make that. But in that time, you feel like that's a logical decision, but it's backed by emotion and wanting to provide for your family and feeling stressed and going, I just need something quick to create a meal. So it really does come back to the emotional need. And there's so much behind Daily Good. And so I'm really excited to actually see where that comes to now with that. And it shows with brands, like you say, it's been going for 2.5 years, and people might assume when they just pick something up in a supermarket that you're happy with it and that's it, and that's it's been 2.5 years and surely it should be this and that, but it's an ongoing transformation, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, it is. But it's like with anything in life, you just keep evolving, and you have to keep evolving, and you have to keep moving, and you have to keep learning. And it's been very interesting with doing this, deep dive into sort of the marketing side of it with Daily Good, to sort of go back to why you and I actually, why we did some of the things that we did for the brand. Why did we put those colors? Why did we use those colors? And I kept coming back to me, and I was explaining. I realized that, as our team has moved on in 2.5 years, I haven't necessarily explained why you and I did what we did, and all those hours of talking it through and thinking it through, and coming up with the cross, which was the revelation. And there's been a long journey, and every detail you and I have thought about and discussed through. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned the Chemist Warehouse has been a big help, and you're just getting into Countdown now, and obviously with Woolworths and foodstuffs. So when the brand first launched, and obviously you've got other brands in supermarkets already, Good Cocktail Co, and they've been around for some time. Was it, for lack of a better word, and I know it's not easy, was the third brand going into major retail as challenging as the first two that went in?
It's always challenging. It's always challenging. It's always a challenge. You can assume nothing. You can't assume anything. You really can't. And what we try and do is we try and develop brands that we know consumers actually want. And have we got it right? We genuinely don't know until we actually launch it. They're all a challenge. They're all a challenge. And I can assure you, we celebrate every single win that we get in terms of getting into supermarket. I don't take any of it for granted. Some of them are easier than others to get in. Some of them are just easier than others. And that's just fact. But Daily Good's been a hard slog. It's been a hard slog. It really has. But I'm really proud of where it's got to. And I'm really proud that it still exists. And we haven't given up on it, because it would have been easy to give up on it. It really would have. But it's that real belief and about who we are as a company, who Red Shoots is as a company, and the brands that we want to develop, and truly having an impact. It was something that was deeply important to us, and we knew it was worth sticking with. We just needed help.
Absolutely. And that's the when you just that's right on the money when you say we just needed help. And sometimes it's important to go outside of the business and talk to people and get information, whether it's customers or feedback, or whether it is somebody like for NZTE. So there's a lot of good resources and people that you can approach. You've just got to be
You just got to be honest. Honestly, that's what we've been. And that's why in terms of, progressives and foodstuffs and Chemist Warehouse, I mean, they're huge, big corporate companies and everyone's scared of them and how dreadful they are. That's not my experience, because I think if you turn up and they've given you a chance and you go, I need some help. I know I haven't quite got it. Can you help me out here? And I genuinely can say, hand on heart, that I've had help from them. If you make yourself vulnerable, you say, I really want this to work. The retailers want it to work. They've taken you because they know it is something that their consumers want. They want you to work as well. They really want to help. And that is, we've genuinely taken everybody's help. I want to hear from retailers, I want to hear from consumers. We've solicited consumer feedback at food shows, just so we could actually hear what people are actually saying to us. It's really important to listen to your retailers and to listen to your consumers.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's excellent advice. And one final question I have for you is, obviously you've been in this game for some time now with your brands and that. What couple of tips could you give to somebody who's got a great product and is looking to get into retail specifically?
Gosh, tips. I don't know. I guess the way I always see it is that someone's always been there before me. I'm not the first person to try and get into Woolies. I'm not the first person to try and do this. For me, this industry, I've worked in a few industries, and this industry is the most collaborative one that I've ever come across. You genuinely meet lovely, warm, generous people, be it people like you, where we start a brand, who are willing to engage on such a deeper level. I think you and we spent a lot of weird time together in lockdown. We did. But we went really, 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 really deep, and that's why I've really loved working with you. Sorry, it's not a sell for Laura this, but that you were willing to engage with the brand on a really deep level, rather than, I can do you a bottle. Yep, sure, I can do you a picture. Yep, I've listened to what you've said. Here's your brief. That's great. And as you know, I can't work like that. I can't hand somebody a 10 or 20 page brief and go, right, this is brand voice. This is the brand. Off you go and do it. No, can't do that. Can't do that. It's got to resonate. I think I forgot what the question was. What was the question again? Advice, tips.
What kind of thing, if someone's about to go and present to, say someone is about to go and present to Foodstuffs for the first time, what couple of things would you say to them, about, is it being genuine?
Be authentic, be genuine. I know they're awful words, but I mean them. They really do resonate with people. If you turn up as a real human being, you've got passion and you've got drive and you've got belief, and you're turn up with a quality product. Don't turn up with something that isn't. Turn up with something that you truly believe in. And that will always come out to the retailer. That will always come out to them. I absolutely believe that's true. Absolutely believe that's true. I guess being authentic and have a quality product. Don't turn up with something that's not. And don't turn up with something that's not quite there, because you won't quite make it, is the truth.
They see a lot of people, so they'll know when it's someone who's really, done their stuff, and somebody that's sort of like just there to sort of go, oh, I'm not quite sure.
And keep trying and ask for help. And as you know, you've put people my way who've just needed a 20-minute conversation with me for me to just point them a little bit in a different direction, or to just give them a smidgen of advice about something. It's taken me 20 minutes. I'm always happy to do that, because people did it for me. In the beginning, I've rang up all sorts of companies going, I wonder if you can help me. I just don't know how to do. Ask for help. Ask for help. As I say, it's an incredibly collaborative industry. It really is.
Awesome. Oh, Rhona, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's been a nice, wee, positive episode for people. I think there's a lot of negativity, like you say, around this, and being frightened of these big retailers and all that, and also fear around tweaking and refining your product, and whether you're allowed to do that and when it's okay. So it's nice to be able to have that experience and actually share that with Daily Good, and it be such a great product. And so that's definitely one that I'm super proud of as well.
I know, and you should be. Thank you, Laura. It's a great experience for both of us, so thank you.